Okay, I think everything is fine now. I'm not sure. Uh, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me, and let me know if you can see the graphics. I don't know what the hell going on, but I just had all type of shit going on. You know, the damn Wi-Fi was just going in and out. My damn software was doing something janky. Um, the screen that I'm using for my second monitor is doing some crazy shit. So I'm hoping y'all can hear me and y'all can see the graphics. As a matter of fact, let me know that you can see me now. Because I'm actually kind of scared the way the internet is going in and out like that. It's been doing that for the past couple of days. I don't know why it's been doing that, but it has been doing that. Going in and out. I mean, the bill is paid, so I don't know what the hell is going on. So I had to cut my camera on. Please let me know if you see me. Okay. Sophie says she hear and see the intro. Okay. Loud and clear. Okay. I need no. Okay, Nicole says she can't see me. Thank God. Boy, this technology is a motherfucker these days. It is. It's a motherfucker. And I don't know if the notification went out. It sounded like it did. It sounded like I heard my phones going off or whatnot. I don't know. You know, this just one of these days when you have everything set and when it's time for you to go live, then everything just go kaplunk, you know. I'm sitting up here nursing my arm, icing my arm and shit, get ready for the show, and try to get started. All this shit just happening. All this shit just happening. All right. So everybody say I'm good. All right. Well, since y'all say I'm good, what up, Cat Eyes? Lady D, what's going on the one lie? MP, hey dear, what's going on? My wild Heather, I just call you Heather. How you doing? Marnina? Yeah, Marnina Martin, what's going on? So what's going on? Nicole Jackson, what's going on? Sandy, what's going on? George Audrey, what's going on? And the man above, I see he came earlier. And everybody who's going to come in later. Anyway, guys, before shit start fucking up again, let's get right into it, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chris Thorne Show. Sophie said this is her first live mine. Sophie, I thought you've been here before. No, it's Sophia. Okay, it's Sophia. Okay, y'all two different people. It's Sophia. Okay, we're there. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you enjoy the show that I'm for to give. And I'm seeing a lot of people is seeing this story, and a lot of people is upset with this story, and they upset. Period. What's going on down there in Houston? Y'all saw I cover up this story. I did an update actually last night, early this morning, and we're going to talk about these individuals right here. So for those who ain't been following the story, in Southwest Houston, in an apartment complex, we have the lady that you see up at the top left, Donavia. I finally got her name right. The guy that you see over to her is Greg Carty, if I said that right. The young lady you see down here under Donavia is his daughter. I guess that's their daughter together, young Harmony. She was 6 years old. And the guy who you see next to Harmony is the guy who's been arrested for the charge of the murder of all three of these individuals. Name is Xavier. And I put this other picture over here to the right because I want y'all to see, everybody together right here. This is the first Photoshop that I did of everybody. But now we have a face to the person who did this, which is a Xavier Davis. If you can take a look at Xavier's face, he just looked like he just evil, just pure evil. Look like he just ain't got no soul in his body. So I don't know what's going on. What's his connection to this, or what was this all about? But as new develops come in, I'm pretty much sure we're gonna get the story straight. Now, however, before I get into the story, I had somebody come in the comment section. They told me, Chris, Houston has been on fire lately. They told me in the last 24 hours that it had 6 children murdered. 6 children murdered. And I was like, wow, that is crazy. He ain't lying, because I did see something on YouTube where they was talking about all the murders happening down there in Houston. So I don't know what's going on in Houston, but y'all sound like Memphis now, because Memphis, we bad. We used to be bad like that. But I think Houston right now, y'all got us beat, man. That's crazy. In 24 hours, 6 children killed. Man, damn. That crazy down there. That is crazy down there. So anyway, guys, we got another update. So let's get right into the update. Xavier has capital murder charges. They are charging her with capital murder charges over each one of them. And guys, to my surprise of this story, you're going to hear where they say they believe it's a second person involved in this. So Houston, what's going on down there? So let's listen to what's going on with this, guys. All right.
That horrific murder of a Southwest Houston family of 3, including a 6-year-old girl, is expected to make his first court appearance.
ABC 13 reporter TJ Parker is live outside of the courthouse, where we expect to learn new details about this just horrific case. So many people wondering what was going on. Good morning, TJ.
Yeah, very horrific. Good morning to you both. We're inside a probable cause court right now, waiting.
Oh, and please, if you are in Houston watching me right now, man, hey, I would love for one of y'all to come up here and talk to me, let me know what's going on down there. Is Southwest Houston, is that a bad part of Houston, or is it Houston period? Is it just bad right now? That apartment complex they were in, is that a bad apartment complex? I know somebody did hit me up, say they used to stay in Houston, and it is bad on that part of town. But for people who stand down there now, if you're hearing the sound of my voice or you're looking at me right now, I would love for when you come talk to me and let me know what's really going on. And if y'all can, please get them thumbs up. All right, let's continue.
For that suspect, Xavier Davis, to see when he'll make his first court appearance after he was charged last night. We were told that he was taken into custody on an unrelated family violence charge yesterday. Davis, though, is charged with 3 counts of capital murder for the shooting deaths of Xavier.
Victoria, are you in Houston? Please tell me you're in Houston and come talk to me.
Gregory Carhey and their 6-year-old daughter Harmony at their apartment on Fondren Wednesday night. Now, Harmony's 10-year-old sister was also shot.
I want y'all to look at that right there. I want y'all to look at that right there. Again, for those who haven't been following the story, let me catch you up. This young lady is a brave young lady, and I'm sad for what happened to her. This is the 10-year-old sister of Harmony. Now, y'all see this young lady's in a sling. I'm in a sling. I was in a sling because I had surgery. She's in a sling because she was shot by that fool y'all just saw. She was shot by that guy. But luckily she was on a shot in the arm. And this is a 10-year-old girl who had to go to the hospital and has her arm in a sling right now. And I'm actually surprised they showing this. I'm actually surprised that they showing this right here, but they got her face blurred out. But that is so sad to see this young child in a sling because of a fool like that end up shooting her. All right, let's continue. Oh, and not only that, she played dead until he left and then FaceTimed her grandma and showed her grandma on video what took place. A 10-year-old that was shot, but still had the courage to have survival instincts to play dead until this guy left and was able to call a family member. And y'all think that's worse? Yeah, the 1-year-old boy, which was her brother, that was there too. He didn't get in touch. So she had to grab her 1-year-old brother and get out that place once she called her folks and told them what happened. I can't imagine 10 years old going through that.
But played dead the whole time before being able to FaceTime her grandma to show her what happened after everything was over. She got out of the hospital last night. Members of the family surprised city leaders during a press conference at City Hall yesterday about crime surge across.
Y'all see that baby right there? 6-year-old Harmony. That is a beautiful child. That is a beautiful child. Why would you hurt a child? 6-year-old. What did she do to you? And the way this story happened, y'all, they say this guy, when they knocked on the door, I don't know, was it Greg or was it Dunyavia, came to the door with the baby in her hand. They said this man grabbed the baby by the hair, set it on the couch, and set everybody on the couch, and shot everybody in the head execution style. Now, with that being said, I'm also wondering how the 10-year-old got shot in the arm. All right. So I said that right there, you sit him on the couch and shoot him and kill him like that. Something going on here. Somebody sent it a message, or this man was looking for something. I don't know what the hell was going on, but the story is still developing. And you shot a 6-year-old execution style. For what though? Or was he in fear that the 6-year-old can talk?
Across the city.
You have two families that are ripped apart. Two families on the stage.
Now, authorities are also saying that they're looking for a second suspect in this case. Crime Stoppers has a...
Y'all heard it? A second suspect. Houston, where y'all at? They say they're looking for a second suspect.
A $5,000 reward out for that, for information leading to an arrest.
Cat, you said why you think he spared the 1-year-old? Just like somebody told me after I did my last video, they say they believe the reason he spared the 1-year-old because the 1-year-old can't talk. The 1-year-old can't snitch. In which that sounds like a valid point. That's why he didn't kill the 1-year-old. All right. So, I guess that's why he thought he killed everybody else. Because everybody else can talk. So, that's the only answer I can give you. And that's what somebody suggested to me. The only reason the 1-year-old wasn't harmed, because the 1-year-old could not talk. All right. So I guess in that sense, it's almost like you're leaving no witness behind. But thank God for the 10-year-old. Her survival instincts kicked in. And not only that, she survived. But I hate her sister got that. That 6-year-old pretty baby got dealt with like that for this fool. All right. Then on top of that, they saying they think it's a second person involved. And that makes it even worse. And that's why I say there's a message being sent. But for what though? What's going on though? What's going on? But here's what it's saying. 3 capital murder charges have been filed against a man accused of killing 3 members of the same family earlier this week. Xavier Davis, 28 years old. I told y'all, these young men throwing their life away for bullshit. 28 years old. I would love to be 28 again. 28 years old. Was arrested Thursday in an unrelated family violence charge, authorities said. He is accused of shooting Harmony Kahi, the baby that I showed y'all, 6 years old, and her parents, Xavier Lagway and Gregory Carhe, in a Fondren, if I said it right, Fondren Road apartment Wednesday night. Harmony's 10-year-old sister was also shot, but she played dead during the rampage before using FaceTime to call her grandmother. Then it goes on to say, she was strong, she was hurt, but my baby came out of nowhere from whatever way she had to make stuff happen. The grandmother of her, Amanda Lagway, said earlier this week, I just want everyone to know my baby is a hero. My baby is a hero. It goes on to say that the 10-year-old was released from the hospital on Friday and is recovering from her injuries. She told police the man believed to be Davis knocked on the door of the police before the rampage. He had a mask on and grabbed her 1-year-old baby brother by the hair. Listen, guys, grabbed her 1-year-old baby brother by the hair and threw him. The little girl told police he then shot the victims in the head. She said she played dead, and when the killer left, she got her brother and locked the door. Their lives have been permanently changed, said Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. I just want to extend my condolences and prayers to these families whose lives has been changed in the last 48 hours. Let me see what this is going to say right here.
Houston police have not released a possible motive or announced an arrest, so the search for the killer continues. This grandmother got that terrible call about this time last night that 4 family members had been shot, including 2 children. 3 of them were killed.
I still can't believe it.
Amanda Lagway has been sitting on the porch most of the day. She can't bear to step inside, even as other family members dismantle furniture and pack up. This is where her daughter, Xavier Lagway, her common-law husband, Gregory Carhe, and their 6-year-old daughter, Harmony Carhe, were shot to death last night before their 10-year-old daughter called Lagway, her grandmother, on FaceTime for help.
She's like, Granny, my mom got shot, my dad got shot. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what happened?
The news was jarring. The family called police, and by the time they got to the apartment on Fondren, it was taped off. The 10-year-old was shot in the arm. She told police the killer knocked first, had a mask on, and grabbed her baby brother by the hair and threw him. He then shot the victims in the head. She said she played dead, and when the killer left, she got her brother and locked the door.
Oh, I just want everybody to know, my baby, she's a hero.
I want y'all to imagine a 10-year-old had to carry her 1-year-old brother to safety after she been shot. Just think about that. You get a call from your children. You get a call from your child. They put you on video. And show you the damage that has been done. And not only that, to save her little brother, this 10-year-old had to pick up her brother, unless he can walk, while she was injured, and try to get her brother to safety. I just want anybody to imagine that. You leave your child with the babysitter. The unthinkable like that happens, and you get a FaceTime call from your child and show you what just happened. Just imagine that, man. Miss Force 231 said the only murder we have here in Australia are from bikies. Are you talking about people who ride bikes, or you talking about like biker gangs? Then you come back and said fear assassination. That's about it. Wow, Australia got assassinations? But I'm curious why you put LOL behind that. I don't know what's funny about that. I don't.
My baby is a hero.
Friends and family dropped off balloons and candles, still stunned by the carnage that was inside.
Someone's sick. They're sick in here. Very sick.
Lagway says Harmony was an angel, Danyevia and Gregory good parents. Detectives canvassed the complex and recovered surveillance video in their search for the person who shot a family.
That's a monster. You don't do that.
Lagway can't believe the loss. With their parents gone, she says she will raise the children.
I love them. So, these are my babies, and, hey, they ain't going nowhere.
Jessica Willey, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
I had a couple of people come in the comment section. They said, did anybody hear the gunshots? I mean, you stay in an apartment, somebody would have heard the gunshots. And I'm going to say to you, I agree with you, unless this person was using some sort of silencer and nobody didn't hear anything, I don't know. But I would think that if it was a loud pistol or whatever he used, it would probably scare that 1-year-old. And he probably was hollering to the top of his lungs. I don't know. So that is a good question. I would like to know, was it a loud pistol, or did he use some kind of silencer that nobody saw or heard anything? All right. Just like now, I don't know if y'all can hear it. We got folks over here popping fireworks. And they be doing it all week. And they loud as hell. So if I can hear all that, something loud like that, then of course I can hear a gunshot. If the firearm is loud, I can hear it. And I'm going to wonder what the hell is going on. All right. And there's no such thing as a silent firework, as far as I know, unless you just got some sparkles or something. But shit, you close enough, they make noise. But I just say that to make the analogy about a firearm. If it's loud and you're in an apartment, especially if you staying next door, unless you just went at home that day. Somebody heard that. Somebody did. And it could be a possibility that people are used to hear gunfire over there that it probably don't phase them none. They could be an issue too. I don't know. But maybe in the upcoming updates, we will find out if it was a loud pistol or was it a silencer. I don't know. But it continues to say that the 1-year-old was not injured. Family said the couple has an 8-year-old son who was spending the night with his uncle the night of the shooting. Thank God they were somewhere else. The 8-year-old was somewhere else. It looked like that's the end of that right there, So Danyevia had 4 children, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Hold on. Let me pull up that picture again. Hold on. They go 3 on right there. I think she got 1 more, if I'm not mistaken. An old video idea. I think I said she had 4 or 6 or something like that. Don't give me lying to you. I gotta go back and You said I need to shut up and show more respect to Australians. He was just joking. I didn't say nothing bad to him. What are you talking about? I didn't say nothing bad to him. So what the hell are you talking about? Sim Tuba, I didn't say nothing bad to the person. And then I asked him, did he find it funny? So what you mean grow the fuck up? I didn't say nothing bad to the person at all. But you telling me grow up, but somebody laughing about somebody getting killed, and that's funny to y'all down there? Okay. But you mad at me though because I said something to him. Yeah, they make a whole lot of sense. More likely it is the man above. More likely it is. But they go to show you just the stupidity with a lot of people. I never said nothing bad to that person. I just asked them what they mean when they say bikers. Did they mean a biker gang or somebody riding a bike?
Summer with new sunrise badge.
Then I asked them, did you find it funny? And that's it. Didn't call them out their name, didn't say nothing. So you call that disrespect because I said that? Oh well, I'll take that. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Let me see what else I got, man, before I go into this, because they got a conference here that they talking about this story. I thought it was an extra video that I need to show y'all, but apparently it's not. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else. So we're going to hear what the mayor down there is speaking of. And apparently a lot of people down there in Houston's not happy with him because I was looking at some comments from another website while I was watching this. And I don't think people too happy with Mayor Turner down there. So let's see what he got to say about all this. All right. Oh, and before I get into this, the girl who got shot, they say she was pregnant then. They say Dunyavia was pregnant then. Wow. Wow.
To everyone, I am joined today by Houston Police Chief Troy Fenner and several of his investigators with Houston Police Department, along with Rania Macarius of the Crime Stoppers Houston and her team. And then we also have with us some family members who are in a lot of pain right now, and I appreciate their presence here today. We have Shirley Steele, who is the mother of Layla Steele and the grandmother of Zeus, and 1-year-old. And then we also have with us Regina Carhill, who is the mother of Gregory Carhill and the grandmother of Harmony and Lyric. And so I appreciate them for taking the time at this time to be here, to be standing with us, because it is important for people in our city to be able to recognize that when people are injured or killed through violence, that we are talking about families, and their lives have been permanently changed. So I just want to extend my condolences and prayers to these two different families whose lives have been changed in the last 48 hours. All of us have been shaken by the disturbing and senseless, and I do want to underscore senseless, violence that has taken place in the last 48 hours But let me just even extend that even further. The violence that's been taking place over this entire year and even going into 2020. This week has been especially heartbreaking because some of the violence has harmed and taken the lives of innocent children. And that goes right to your very heart when we are talking about our children. The city is taking steps proactively, working to keep our city safe by collaborating with other law enforcement agencies and community leaders. But it's important for us to recognize that it is all of our responsibility, every single person in this city. And the police have been working nonstop to solve the latest shootings. And today, I just simply want to let the public know that the Houston Police Department and our investigators have taken into custody the suspected shooter in Wednesday's night triple murders of a mother, a husband, and their 6-year-old daughter. That case is being processed as we speak. One man is in custody, and they are looking for a second. In a moment, Chief Fenner will offer more details on that particular case. At the same time, while they are not with, at the same time, let me just say that again, want to offer my condolences to the family members of 35-year-old Gregory Carhe, 29-year-old Daniavia Lackway, and their daughter, and then 6-year-old Harmony Carhe. A 10-year-old inside the apartment was also shot but survived, along with a 1-year-old who was not injured. Houston police have identified another suspected shooter in another horrific case that happened this week as well. Layla Steele, whose family...
Oh, I forgot, guys. And right after this story, when this happened, there's another story very similar happened. A guy killed the mother of his child. If I'm saying it right, he killed the mother of his child and killed the child. And they happened like, I think I want to say they happened in the same day, or one happened one day and the other one happened the next day. But anybody who's in Houston, y'all can tell me if I got that wrong or not.
His mother is with us. Was gunned down Thursday while holding her infant son, Zeus. The shooter is not yet in custody, but police have a pretty good idea of who this person is, and is now seeking to locate him. The person of interest was out on 7 felony bonds and was wearing an ankle monitor at the time. Let me simply say, as mayor of this city, this person is listening. Let me encourage you to turn yourself in to the Houston Police Department. We're doing everything in our power to find this person, and I have no doubt we will find this person. And so let me just encourage the person to turn yourself in. And once again, I want to offer my condolences to this family that's grieving, to this grandmother and mother who's standing with us today. As a city, we are taking steps to curb the rise in violence, which is happening in our community. It's happening all over the country, but that the fact remains, it is happening in our city. And we want to do everything that we can to curb the rise in violence. Before I turn it over to Chief Fenner, I want to acknowledge that I know people are rightly concerned about the increase in crime in our city. It is important for us all to know that many of these crimes are occurring in several categories. One, in a domestic situation, or where the perpetrator is familiar and knows the person who has been the victim of that crime. Or secondly, where there are narcotic deals, always gang-related shootings. All of these are certain categories. Another category I would underscore would be road rage. And so we are taking steps to crack down in all of these categories, and taking the initiative to do our part in keeping people safe within our city. I want to certainly acknowledge Chief Fenner and HPD for working in partnership with other law enforcement organizations in this city as well as outside of this city to expand the law enforcement presence in this city. And I think you will recognize that there will be even more so of this as we head into this weekend, this extended weekend. Because of the rise in crime, I've provided an additional $2.1 million in overtime to HPD in order to expand our reach and our presence in this city, and to take additional steps to target where this crime appears to be occurring. We are increasing the number of, in particular cases, of military awards to Crime Stoppers, as we have done in the past, and we'll be continuing to do that as we move forward. We've added another 6 cadet class to HPD in order to increase the number of police officers on our street. And we're using technology more in order to solve and to prevent some of these crimes from occurring. I do want to acknowledge and thank the county for the steps they have taken over the last week to expend an additional $15 million as it relates to strengthening the criminal ecosystem in Harris County. And that will help to reduce the 100,000 case backlog that exists. And so that is a step in the right direction. But let me also acknowledge that any person who is out, for example, on a 7th felony bond, whether it's in these cases or any cases, that is unacceptable, and there is no real justification for anybody to be out on 5, 6, 7 felony bonds.
Now that's what I want to know. How did that happen? Even he's saying it, that's unacceptable. So how somebody got that many bonds and still get out? Again, guys, I'm ignorant to the law, so I don't know how it worked. But 7 felony bonds and you got out on all 7. So what you been doing to keep going back 7 times? Then you had on the ankle monitor, took out the ankle monitor, then went and did the dirty deed that you did. So while he's talking about that, I'm actually on my other computer looking that stuff up, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute and see what's going on with this story. All right, let's continue.
And so let me just say that that too needs to come to an end. That needs to stop. We're all in this together. It's not about it's recognizing that when people are victimized, and certainly when lives are lost, families are forever changed. And so again, let me say to the city of Houston as a whole, to every single person within our city, if you know of individuals, for example, who have committed crimes, whether it's robbery, assault, or homicide, if you know who they are and where they are, you too have an obligation to identify those persons and to provide that information. We all have a role to play. There should be no safe place in our city for any person that has committed a crime. And let me just say, especially to those individuals who are harming our children, okay? There should be no safe place. No single person in our city should find it acceptable for any person that has the gall to shoot or harm our children in our city. Should be no safe place. Shouldn't have to wait on the police to go and find them. If you know who these persons are, who are hurting and killing our children, you too have an obligation to speak up and say something without waiting on the police, or quite frankly, without waiting on a reward offered by Crime Stoppers. This is where all of us should draw the line. This is where all of us should draw the line. And quite frankly, the line has to be drawn. For individuals who are walking, driving on our streets, and shooting these guns just like as if they are BBs, that's totally unacceptable. And so what I am saying, we will do our part. The city will do its part. HPD will do its part in order to keep our city safe. We'll put forth the overtime. We'll bring on more people. We'll use the technology. We'll partner with other law enforcement organizations. I will say to the judges and others not to put people back on the street who have committed 3 and 4 and 5 felonies, okay? Relying on ankle monitors to control their whereabouts. That's unacceptable, okay? Reduce the backlog that exists in our city. Open up our courts, okay? We'll invest in the community. We'll provide jobs for people in our city. We'll do all of those things to give people an opportunity to succeed. But at the same time, every person in our city has to take public responsibility as safety as their responsibility. And it's not about blaming anyone. It's about letting those who commit crimes, the criminals, know that there is no safe place in our city for anyone who's committing these crimes. If we do that, and if we work together, the numbers will go down. But any person who harms our children, we will expand whatever it takes to find you. And we will find you. We will find you, okay? Now let me yield and let me turn it over to Chief Fenner.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to get up?
Yeah.
Victor, I don't let him say his own name apparently. Victor, I'll definitely ask you, did you stay in Houston? Because you was talking like you stayed in Houston, but you say you don't stay there. You left about 4 years ago. Okay.
Because let me thank Crime Stoppers and Rainey and the organization has been very, very helpful in working with us and providing information and rewards to people who are committing crimes. And so I appreciate Rainey for being here today. Crime Stoppers, Rainey.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. Thank you, Chief Finner. And to the families, we express our heartfelt condolences and deep, overwhelming frustration. I echo every single thing the mayor said. If you've been following Crime Stoppers for the last year and a half, you know we've been extremely vocal on some of the issues Mayor Turner has brought up. We are here because Houston has endured another horrific wave of violence and bloodshed, causing us now to be in the midst of one of our deadliest years in recent history. At this point, if you are truly paying attention and honestly wanting to protect citizens, you can no longer hide from the reality that the repeated releasing on bond of violent felony defendants, it is a major contributor to this spike. Our research has now identified over 120 men, women, and children who have senselessly lost their lives. They've been killed because of these repeated releases. Of the over 120, an overwhelming majority would be classified as minorities. 15 were killed trying to flee from a domestic violence situation, and 9 were children.
Wait, the man above, y'all carry guns into the church? Is it that bad down there, bro? Y'all carry guns in the church? It gotta be bad you doing like that. Golly.
And that number is rising. This is not political, but it is time for every elected official in the city and county to acknowledge this, talk about it, and work to fix it. When you endorse or encourage the repeated release of the most violent offenders back into the community for the sake of protecting their liberties, the liberties of those offenders, you are immediately and automatically allowing the safety of every other Houstonian to take a back seat. It is wrong. And basic common sense would tell you that. And if it doesn't, then let's rely on the data. How do we prevent this? We have found that bond conditions and ankle monitors are not helping in these specific cases. We also see that the DA's countless requests to revoke bond have fallen on deaf ears. We blame no one, but we call on all elected officials to work together to address this. We need to stop releasing people on multiple felony bonds. To that end, we join the community in being very thankful to the consistency and leadership and partnership with Mayor Turner and our Houston Police Department.
Hold on, y'all. Wait. Hold on, Rio. I don't know if that was an accident. God, my arm. Rio, I don't know if you got your phone in your pocket or whatnot there, but you deleting people's messages and stuff. And you hit the listen doctor. That's my dude. Yeah, the listen doctor, that's my dude right there. Shit, this arm, man. God damn. Okay, she says an accident. Hey, I love to talk what's going on. Serene Sapphire, she said it's all a part of their plan. All a part of who playing? What are you talking about? I'm alright, guy. Just my arm kind of throbbing, so.
Within their jurisdiction to end this crime is truly to be applauded. We encourage the community to pay attention, get involved, ask the right questions of the right people in an appropriate manner, and we will continue to be the voice of the victims. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to our Crime Stoppers partners, and thank you, Mayor, for your commitment to public safety, but most importantly, thank y'all for standing with us. Two families, the Steele family and the Carheat family. Thank y'all for being here.
It's all good, Rio. Appreciate it.
I want to say this because the mayor's already said enough. Our children, I said it as executive assistant chief, I'm going to say it as chief. Hands off. Hands off. You have two families that are ripped apart. Two families on the stage have a mother and grandmother, both of them, suffering from violence in our city. But I pledge, and everybody here pledged, all our police officers, and I want to pause one moment, because y'all don't get a chance to see our commander of homicide, Belinda Knoll, much, but she's standing to my left. Thank you for the great work. From the minute these cases dropped a few days ago, our investigators have been working 24/7 around the clock. There are two suspects that we have identified, persons of interest. They are working, our investigators are working as we speak on filing the charges. And I know we want to release names and we want to ask more into the investigations. I cannot do that right now.
I ain't took it yet because sometimes things put me to sleep, and I did some things today, so I ain't took it yet. But trust me, when I get through my stream, I'm definitely gonna take it. So I appreciate y'all for y'all concern. But I'm all right. It just throbbing, which telling me that it's healing. That's all,
But I make you one promise. As soon as that paperwork that is signed, we're gonna send it out. Photos and names and information. And it's one that's outstanding. We have one suspect that's in custody.
Tracy Thomas said, don't feel, see? I don't know what you mean by that. And then the Sapphire said, she said something. What did she say?
On an unrelated charge. He's in custody. But the one who's not in custody, even though I'm not going to say your name, you know who you are.
Somebody playing of the governors or something.
And the mayor said it. Turn yourself in, face up to it. And to everybody else in our in our city, the violent criminals, we are standing strong with all of our families, with our mayor, all of our political leaders, and all the police agencies in this region to come after the violent criminals. So, you know what? My mother used to say it all the time. I can show you better than I can tell you, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But we stand here strong with these families, and I just ask our community to do one thing, because not only these families, multiple.
She said Newsom of California and Kate Brown in Oregon let hardened convicted felons out of prison due to COVID. Crime and home invasion are in the rise. Oh yeah, I heard of this, Serene. I heard of that, you know, and I think that's crazy. I really think that's crazy, you know. Yeah, that's awful. Hey, you know, be safe down there. That is awful. I did hear about that.
Families are suffering right now from violence. And we heard some chatter a few weeks ago, but let me tell you something, from my standpoint and my mayor's standpoint, every
you said I
black
don't
in this
feel
city
where
is
you can see it
important.
all. Okay.
Every individual is important.
I'm good.
Every family.
I'm good.
And we're going to pursue those murder suspects like we never had before. So just know that. And we're going to stand. But the final ask that I ask for our community, when we have children who...
Just know this, I'll go through the pain to speak on these children. They just say that, I'll go through this pain to speak for these children. Amen.
Were impacted by violent crime, please throw our arms around and our hands and our hearts around them. They got some tough days ahead. These families, these mothers, these grandmothers. Instead of us throwing stones, throw our hands around them, okay? So as quickly as we get these charges filed, and I've said they're working on them right now, we will be sending out photos and names of suspects. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Nah, Victor, you good. It was an accident, boo.
Councilmember Carlos Cisneros for
it was an
being
accident.
Here, and I know how passionate she is about our children in the city. And again, I want to extend my prayers and my condolences to these two respective families, and quite frankly, to all families who are suffering right now, who have been the victims of violence that has taken place in our city. And reiterate the commitment that we are making. So as we move forward this weekend, our presence will be enhanced, law enforcement presence will be enhanced, adding additional resources as we move forward, and want to make sure that those who have committed crimes, we will find you. And for those who are even thinking about committing crimes as we move forward, just know that we are all working together to prevent that from happening and to make sure that you're apprehended if by chance you should commit any crime. Let me thank these mothers and grandmothers who are standing with us. We can't even identify with the pain that they're experiencing, but just know we're lifting them up in prayer. Having said that, we'll take any questions that anyone may have.
Dr. Thompson, Health and Development Magazine. My question to the mayor. It's sad that we are going through this. The emotions are flowing. But I don't know why you've changed your position now, and you maybe can explain. But I remember in the courts some time ago, and I presented the statements of the former chief of police, who kept saying these same things you are saying today. Why are they recycling felons around and blaming the judges and the courts? And I remember your statement. It should not be generalized. Why have you changed today? What have changed?
Nothing has changed. My position has not changed.
Man, that was a good ass question.
We all have our respective
That's a damn
roles
good
to
question.
play. And what I'm indicating is that to the extent that there was a person who committed a crime, in this case killed a mother, and if that person had been released on 7 felony bonds and out on the 7 felony bonds, I see no justification for that. Nothing has changed. We all have a role to play. And it is important that we restore our criminal justice ecosystem. It is important that we reduce the 100,000 case backlog. I don't control the courts. But I certainly can speak to it. And that's exactly what we are doing. I do have a great deal to say what happens here with the HPD and our law enforcement entities. And I know what we are doing.
So I'll say this right here to the people who I saw the comments they was making about the mayor. And for that man to ask him what he asked him, you know, pretty much he said, yeah, this is bad, man, but 7 felonies, what's really going on, dude? Why we speaking on it just now? I guess that's to sum it up what he was asking him. And whoever asked that question, he came with the fire. That's a damn good question. 7 felonies. And most people who's getting put in jail, a lot of time they get 3 strikes. So how was this person was able to get 7 strikes? I don't know. That's crazy, but that was a damn good question.
And so it's no one single entity. It's not just police. It's not just judges. Okay? It's all of us who have a responsibility.
And that's a question too. Who are the damn judges down there that would let somebody out that many damn times and still fucking up like that? Who is the judge?
And so we have to be very careful when we look to somebody else. Everybody has a role to play. People who are committing these crimes, they're living somewhere, they're eating somewhere, they're talking to somebody. And they're talking to, in many cases, to people and letting them know what they have done. So to the extent if you know somebody who is robbed, assaulted, killed, and you're not making that information available because you're saying you don't want to rat on somebody, you have a responsibility.
You got a point.
To report.
You got a point.
We can get people off the streets.
You got a point right there.
And then what I am adding today, what I am saying is that when there are children who are caught up in this madness and are being injured and killed.
Yeah, MP, you're right. They sure did. Teresa Rocky Balboa, and I'm glad you called it because that's her name, Teresa Rocky Balboa.
So it's not about changing. It's about recognizing that we all
have
a responsibility
to
play.
They sure did.
And in this city, we're going to do just that. Okay?
Question for the chief or whoever knows the answer to this. Do you know off the top of your head the total number of homicides recorded in the city to date and how that compares
Hold
to
up, Victoria. Hold up, Victoria. Why you tell Sebastian showed up? Tell me what's your thing on here, because look like you ain't too fond of him either. I got to find out where's that I saw that where they making comments about him, and they wasn't nice comments at all. They was going in on dude. They was really going in on dude. I got to find where I saw that at.
In 2020?
I think we're at a 40% increase, so we're at 240. I thought it was like 239, but it changes every night. So 40% increase.
Hey, Victoria, you said that you remind me of a Family Guy where they be like, shut up, Meg.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else?
And Mayor, you had mentioned that additional resources would be deployed this weekend for the holiday. What exactly does that mean? How much additional, police should we be expecting to see, that kind of thing?
And it's not just for this weekend. I've added $2.1 million in overtime.
Okay.
Following up with that question, you mentioned you will also be putting millions of dollars to hire new police officers. Is that right?
We have, and through the budget that was approved several weeks ago, we're adding a 6th cadet class. That is correct.
And another question that I have, what will be done to make sure these judges are not releasing, violent criminals on bond? Is there anything you guys are planning to work on to make sure?
And let me be very clear.
Good question. Good question.
I am the mayor of the city of Houston. I am not the mayor of the state of Texas or the region. The judges, the courts are not under my jurisdiction. And there's a lot of confusion out there. I don't control the judges. The judges are not under my jurisdiction. I am speaking to them, okay, but I don't control them, okay? I have 23 departments, and when it comes to law enforcement, the only department that I have as it relates to law enforcement that I can have a great deal of say over That's HPD. And for those who, and so let me just say with respect to HPD, the commitment of the city of Houston to our law enforcement department and to 5,300 police officers on our street has always been consistent and supportive.
Let me say something before we answer any more questions. Look, I said it on last presser, and I'm going to say it today. There is a time and a place for everything. If it's not about these two cases or these families, okay, let's just wait. I will meet y'all next week sometime after the holiday, and we can talk about that. But let's respect the pain that's up here right now and the suffering of these families, okay? And I mean that to everybody. I'm not singling anybody out. I don't mind answering questions. The mayor is transparent as anybody. But let's be respectful. Any more questions? Thank you. Go ahead.
I had one last question for the mayor.
Wait a minute. What did they do wrong? Did I miss something? What did they do wrong? He sounded like he got offended. So did somebody ask the wrong question?
If I may, it's unrelated. Just
Let me say something before.
that kind of thing.
And it's not just for this weekend. I'm bad. There are children who are caught up in this madness and are being injured and killed. Then that was a person who committed a crime, in this case killed a mother, and if that person had been released on 7 felony bonds and out on those 7 felony bonds, I see no justification for that. Nothing has changed. We all have a role to play. And it is important that we restore our criminal justice ecosystem. It is important that we reduce the 100,000 case backlog. I don't control the courts. But I certainly can speak to it. And that's exactly what we are doing. I do have
Is that what it is, Cat Eyes? Is that what it is?
And our law enforcement entities. And I know what we are doing. And so it's no one single entity. It's not just police. It's not just judges. Okay? It's all of us who have a responsibility. And so we have to be very careful when we look to somebody else. Everybody has a role to play. People who are committing these crimes, they're living somewhere, they're eating somewhere, they're talking to somebody.
Okay, true.
And they're talking to, in many cases, to people.
He got upset because reporter asked if the courts will allow criminals to have early release.
Assaulted, killed.
Appreciate that, Shannon.
You're not making that information available because you're saying you don't want to rat on somebody. You have a responsibility.
But that's still that's not a bad question,
so
though.
We can get people
Look,
off the street.
That's just like this YouTube shit. When people make comments, I'm not gonna like every comment, but I try to get everybody freedom of speech. Like that jackass who came in early told me to shut up because the guy was playing about deaths in Australia. I didn't find that shit funny. I don't know how they found it funny. I didn't like their comment, but I didn't block them. I only block people when they get stupid and they keep coming here being stupid. And that person said what they had to say and they left. I'm assuming that they left. I don't know. But with something like this, the same rules should apply. If you open a platform for them to ask you questions, especially something like that, where somebody with 7 felonies was able to get out of jail and committed another damn crime, done shot the mother of his child and shot the damn child, then yes, there should be a question. You might not like the question, but there's no reason for you to get offended. It's not. That's the same thing with me. If I did that shit, I went out and killed somebody, and y'all come to me and say, Chris, all that shit you be talking on YouTube, you went out there and did that shit, and I say, well, open to any questions. Y'all had the right to come to me and say, Chris, what's up? Why you did that? No, that's kind of fucked up, know what I'm saying? You being a hypocrite, know what I'm saying? Or to my black people, you a bitch ass nigga for doing that, bruh. You a real bitch out here, man. So why you did that? I can't get mad at that. I can't get mad at that. I have to, if I open a platform for a question to be asked and I did it, then I should be able to answer it. So again, I don't know what he means talking about be respectful. I don't think nobody was being disrespectful. But I don't know, man. You know, but I don't know.
And then what I am adding today, what I am saying is that when there are children who are caught up in this madness and are being injured and killed, then that crosses anybody's line, or at least it should. So it's not about changing. It's about recognizing that we all have a responsibility to play. And in this city, we're going to do just that. Okay?
Question for the chief or whoever knows the answer to this. Do you know off the top of your head the total number of homicides recorded in the city to date and how that compares to the same point in 2020?
I think we're at a 40% increase, so we're at 240. I thought it was like 239, but it changes every night. So 40% increase.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Anything else?
And Mayor, you had mentioned that additional resources would be deployed this weekend for the holiday. What exactly does that mean? You know, how much additional, police should we be expecting to see, that kind of thing?
And it's not just for this weekend. I've added $2.1 million in overtime.
Okay.
Following up with that question, you mentioned you will also be putting millions of dollars to hire new police officers. Is that right?
We have, and through the budget that was approved several weeks ago, we're adding a 6th cadet class. That is correct.
And another question that I have, what will be done to make sure these judges are not releasing, violent criminals on bond? Is there anything you guys are planning to work on to make sure?
And let me be very clear, because there's a lot of confusion.
Now, if that's where the cop got upset at, there's no reason for him to get upset, because that was a valid question. She said nothing wrong. I probably would have asked the same thing too. You've been the mayor of the city. She didn't say you was the mayor of the state. We get that. You just the mayor of the city. So she just asking you as a mayor, what precautions are you going to put in place to not allow this to happen anymore, since you say you're going to be talking to the judges, I think she get that you don't control the judges. You don't control the judicial system, but she said nothing wrong right there, unless she said something else and I missed it. But let's listen.
I am the mayor of the city of Houston. I am not the mayor of the state of Texas or the region. The judges, the courts are not under my jurisdiction. And there's a lot of confusion out there. I don't control the judges. The judges are not under my jurisdiction. I am speaking to them, okay, but I don't control them. Okay? I have 23 departments. And when it comes to law enforcement, the only department that I have as it relates to law enforcement that I can...
I see your comments, La. I see your comments.
HPD. Okay. And for those who... and so let me just say with respect to HPD, the commitment of the city of Houston to our law enforcement department and to 5,300 police officers on our street has always been consistent and supportive.
Let me say something before we answer any more questions. Look, I said it on last presser, and I'm going to say it today. There's a time and a place for everything. If it's not about these two cases or these families, okay, let's just wait. I will meet y'all next week.
But, bro, it was one of the cases that the guy had 7 felonies. That is one of the cases. That is.
Sometime after the holiday, and we can talk about that. But let's respect the pain that's up here right now and the suffering of these families, okay? And I mean that to everybody. I'm not singling anybody out. I don't mind answering questions. The mayor is transparent as anybody. But let's be respectful. Any more questions? Thank you. Go ahead.
I had one last question for the mayor, if I may. It's unrelated.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that part.
Okay.
Chief, on the bond issue, during the Violent Crime Summit a couple weeks ago, you said that HPD would provide a list of the most violent criminals to the courts. Have you done that, and what response did you get from the judges?
To the DA's office. If I misspoke, it's not really proper for a police chief to be providing anything to the judge. We need to be independent. But my point of it is, is to get our most violent criminals into arrested, charged, and into the court system, into a jury trial or a trial by judge, whatever they choose, as quickly as we can, so we can get some of these violent criminals off our streets. So that's what I was meaning when I stated that. Okay?
Has that happened yet?
We have our list, and we've been communicating. Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Thank you.
Yeah, I have one
Go
more.
ahead.
I just want to
Wow, he's really offended.
The victims' family members, and you know, we hate seeing them up there crying. We hate doing the interviews with them, hearing about their loved ones. What's being done proactively on crime so that we don't have to see these crying family members? It seems like some good efforts were announced today about the increase in rewards.
Michael, we've been doing everything that we've been doing and more. I want to say this again, and you know, I want to be respectful. We have not depoliced any way, and I want to give some credit to our police officers. Even in the mix of COVID, our felony arrests each year, the last couple of years, are up. It's up this year. So I've been really clear about I'm not throwing any stones, and I will not do that. But I will stand up for the great work that our police officers are doing.
And he should.
And the support that we have from the mayor and the city council in funding. So we're doing a lot of initiatives out there. But everybody has to catch up with us. Okay?
Let me just say this. And there are a number of things that we have been doing and will continue to do. Now, we're in the midst of a national phenomenon. Okay? Because I want Houstonians to understand us on multiple levels. What's happening in terms of the increased crime in this city is being done, seen, played out across the country for various reasons. Having said that, what Houstonians are concerned with are what's happening in our city. So when it comes to the support, for example, that we're giving to law enforcement, we are doing that. If you notice, ever since I became mayor, at a minimum, 5 cadet classes every single year. We've increased that number to 6, provided additional overtime, not just for this weekend, but for the entire summer. And we'll continue to do what we need to make sure that we put more people out, officers on the street, that we are investigating more cases to clear these cases. So we're doing that. We're working more with technology. And you've heard the conversation as relates to using ShotSpot and other technologies. So we're doing that. Partnering with other law enforcement organizations. Those things are taking place. Investing in the communities, okay, to meet the needs of people in the communities. We're doing that. Our children, our summer program, just this summer for kids between 16 and 24. We have offered and made available over 8,700 jobs for students in our city from the ages of 16 to 24. And we're doing a lot more of that, working with community groups. We're doing all of that. But it also requires the entire city to work together, and then we have to restore the criminal justice ecosystem that was severely disrupted or dismantled from COVID, and even going back to Harvey when some of the courthouses were closed. But everybody has to do their part. But I do want to say to people in this city, by and large, you can go about the city in a safe way. We all have to be mindful of what we are doing, for example, when we're heading home, and the company that we keep and all of that. But by and large, this city, let's do it safe. But if any one person, any one family, it becomes a victim of crime, it is never safe enough for that family. And especially when it relates to our children. And that's why for these mothers and grandmothers who are present, my heart goes out to them, but our commitment is to do everything within our power to do to make this city safe such that another child life is lost or injured. Okay?
Yeah, Chief, I was going to ask Chief Troy Finner.
Yes, sir.
I don't think that a lot of these crimes have not been studied, and the demography of the criminals established. But I want to ask you, do you think that the minorities are sabotaging your reign as chief in the city, vis-a-vis the coming new mayor?
Sir, you have to know me that I don't go there with people. And let me tell you something. There are good people and there are bad people in any race. And what I've done as a person, as a police officer for 31 years, we look at the bad people for whatever race they are, and we work together with the good people. So I'm not going to get into the race thing, and no disrespect to you, but so everybody else will know that we're not going to do that. We are going to work together as a community. I respect your question, but we're going to move forward together as a city, all of us. We're the most diverse in the entire nation, and that is our strength in this city. And anybody that comes to this city, they see it, and they feel it, and they talk about it. So we're going to move forward together. If you, whatever race you are, if you out here violating and committing violent crime, I'm coming after you, and my whole team is. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was the briefing or whatnot. It sounded like there may have been a little bit more. They just cut it short. Wow, you know, that was very interesting, and like in the middle it got a little tense or whatnot. Wow, you know. I don't even know where to start off as far as that goes, but I saw one of y'all say I think the mayor is genuine. I think that he is too. I believe that he is too, but I don't think it was more so as he who got upset with that. I think the police officer got upset with the question that was being asked. You know, I think the mayor really wants to answer questions, and which I think he did, because he did make some points. He said that, hey man, I don't control the courts, I don't control the judges, I run 23 departments, you know. So meaning, of course, he can't be in two places at one time. We get that, you know. So I think he genuinely answered the question, and might not got the answer that they wanted, but you know, it's only so much he can do. Now he said he talked to the judges, and hopefully by him talking to the judges, you know, maybe some changes can be made, because he did express that somebody with 7 felonies should not have been released, and I agree with him on that. So I guess actually you can't put that on him for that person being released and did what they did. But on top of all that, though, I don't think that cops should have got mad about that, because they did not ask him anything disrespectful. I think every question that was asked was a genuine, thorough question. There was no animosity behind it. They didn't sound like no anger behind it. You know, these are people who just wanted to know. Now, I got a feeling that if that didn't happen with the guy with the 7 felonies, it probably would have never went that way. Whoever had those 7 felonies that got out, it probably would have went much smoother. But a lot of people is focusing on that, because y'all heard it asked him about that a couple of times. 7 felonies? Everybody should be asking about that. 7 felonies. This person got out 7 times. Then had an ankle monitor and was able to remove the ankle monitor and still went to go harm somebody. So if everybody in their press conference asked all that question over 13 times, then I feel like they got a right to do so, because that's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. That's ridiculous. I ain't even heard that down here in Memphis. Somebody got 7 felonies that kept on being released. I ain't never heard that shit down here in Memphis. I could be wrong. I never heard that. You know. All right, Doc Park. Feel better, dear. Feel better, dear. So I never heard this. So and I think that's what got people up in uproar about that, because you got somebody who had 7 felonies and got out, and they're just uncalled for. That is uncalled for. So I don't know who the judges was in that person case, but Jesus Christ. They say right here, charges have been accepted against the suspect arrested in the fatal shooting of a man and a woman and a juvenile female, and wounded a second juvenile female on Fondren Road about 10:35 Wednesday, June 30th. The Harris County District Attorney Office has accepted 3 counts of capital murder and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against suspect Xavier Davis. A book of photo of Davis, who was in custody on an unrelated charge, is attached to this news release. The deceased victims are Harmony Carhey, Dunyavia Lagway, and Gregory Carhey. A second juvenile female, 10, was transported to an area hospital in critical condition. The Sergeant J. Horn and Detective T. Andrade, however you say that, the HPD patrol officers and Houston Fire Department paramedics responded to shooting at the above address, and Miss Lagway, Mr. Carhey, and Harmony Carhey deceased with gunshot wounds. All right, and again, guys, this is the guy who did the dirty deed, and they also have acknowledged they're looking for a second suspect that was involved in this. So. It's getting hot. The pot getting hot on this story. So I would like to know what's going on with that. You know, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy, but you know, hopefully they'll move along and get everybody who is involved. Hey, Mahogany, get everybody that was involved in that, and hopefully we get some justice for that family or whatnot. Let's see. Give me just a minute. Give me just a minute. All right, guys, this the one where they talking about the guy here. He was out on 7 felony bonds. Well, let me let y'all hear. I'll let y'all hear.
And now to the scene of this morning's deadly shooting on West Park. Police say a man shot and killed the mother of his child as she held their 1-year-old boy. The baby was also shot but will survive. Melissa Correa is live at the scene. Melissa, police say the suspect was out on bond for seven prior felonies.
That's absolutely right, Mia, and police say he was also apparently wearing an ankle monitor, but we haven't been able to get a straight answer from Harris County on whether that monitor was clipped off. The county apparently tracks the technology. Houston police say they're working under the assumption that it was clipped off. When we asked HPD about the suspect being out for more than a half dozen felony bonds.
Jesus
Frustrating,
Christ.
but once again, we're here to protect the public and we're going to continue to do our job. We'll continue to do what we're supposed to do. We'll find the suspect, we'll arrest them in charge, and we're hoping that the courts do their part.
We're waiting on authorities to publicly identify the suspect so we can share the exact details of those 7 felony charges he faces. After shooting the woman and his own baby, Houston police say the gunman ran from this area. We're at the intersection of Willcrest and West Park. If you can hear the traffic whizzing by, Len and Mia, this intersection is busy. We're hoping that security cameras capture the direction he headed.
Yeah, I know exactly where that's at. An extremely busy intersection. Someone has seen something for sure. Hopefully. Melissa Correa, thank you.
Y'all heard her? Somebody seen something for sure. That's what I be saying on the apartment complex. Don't nobody see nothing when all this stuff goes on, but you see everything else that you don't need to see. But as soon as somebody kills somebody, do some fuck shit like that, ain't nobody seen nothing. Nobody seen a damn thing. All right, listen, Radio Dr. Taylor, I appreciate it. Serene said, good program, sir. She said, better programming. What did she say? Better reporting than MSM. What's MSM? I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Well, I say what the news they can't say. So that's what I try to do. A lot of people don't like it. I don't give a fuck. But I just say what the news can't say. Well, what they probably really want to say, but they got people like me and other content creators who can say what they cannot say. So fuck them. You know, this stuff needs to be out and anger needs to be shown. There's no way in fuck's sakes that a man who got 7 felonies should have been out. Y'all gave this motherfucker an opportunity to go hurt somebody else if he was in for hurting somebody. So if he did this 7 times, just jack off the winner hurt somebody 7 damn times. Or whatever the fuck he did 7 damn times, and he got out 7 damn times. All right? And that's crazy as hell. But you got people who get a 3-strike rule and you want to lock them down forever. You know, what the hell? You know, so what made this person so special that they got out 7 damn times, all of them on bonds? But out of here, brothers, including down here in Memphis, go down there to 201 Poplar, and they fuck up again and go back. They throw the book at them. I don't get it. I don't get it, you know. So Mayor Turner and Chief Police, whoever you was, there's no reason for neither one of y'all to get upset when they was ask you about that, because that is motherfucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And the city should be upset with y'all. They should be upset with y'all about that. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
At Shell, we're committed to help.
Hold on, guys. I'm trying to pull up something else. That seriously, that is ridiculous. 7 felonies, that is ridiculous. This says, my sister blood is on their hands. Family angry after Houston mother killed by suspect out on 7 felony bonds. What the fuck? Let's hear it.
Tragic shooting happened at 10:30 this morning at an apartment off Willcrest and West Park. Police tell us a woman was shot and killed by the father of her child, and she was holding their 1-year-old son at the time, who also suffered a gunshot wound to his ankle. The suspect in this case was out on 7 felony bonds and was supposed to be wearing an ankle monitor. That makes the case even more tragic for the victim's family. They talked to our Janelle Beluda. Janelle?
Houston police say this could have been prevented. That suspect was out on 7 felony bonds. Tonight, the family of Layla still says the justice system failed her.
July 1st was the day Layla Steele had been waiting for.
Everybody that knew Layla know that she loved her son.
It's her only child, Zeus's first birthday.
Every year we celebrate his birthday. We have to celebrate losing my sister.
But from here on out, the little boy will always know his birthday as also the day of his mother's death.
Only thing we can do now is try to be strong for Zeus, because he lost his mom. She was my baby.
Shirley Steele says she was on the phone with her daughter Layla when it happened.
He telling her in the background, go in the house, go in the house. We were both telling her, no, don't go in the house. And that's the thing, though, she was like, Mom, and the phone hung up.
Layla was shot several times this morning. Police say by Zeus's father. Layla was holding Zeus when it happened. He was also hit.
God.
He did get shot, like not grazed, he was shot.
Outside the hospital where he
gets shot.
What the fuck?
like not grazed, he was shot.
Outside the hospital where he's healing, Layla's mother and sister
And we would say the only way we could get him away from her is if he's in jail.
tell us the man who killed her
But she was scared of him. She was in love with him, but she was scared of him.
should have been in jail.
There's no way that should have slipped where 7 felony bonds, a person was out. And I feel like my sister's blood is on their hands.
They say Layla even had a protective order against him.
He was on an ankle monitor and was told to stay away from her. But was that ankle monitor being monitored?
But still, they say he found a way to take her life and shoot their son.
She died protecting him, and all she ever did was protect her son. Want the best for her. All she lived for was her son.
We're still waiting on Houston police to publicly identify the suspect before we release his name. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. Back to you.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? 2 children out of Houston. It's a blessing that they still alive. A 10-year-old got shot. This boy birthday was there. He got shot. They survived. This boy birthday is gonna come every year. It's the year that his mom died. I don't know anybody who have a birthday on a day like that with anybody who died that they close to. I don't know how you handle that. It may put you in a depressed state. I don't know. But he young right now. I don't know how they're going to talk to him about this as he get older. You know, because right now he don't understand. He don't understand right now. How do you talk to a child when they get older about that? How do you talk to them about that? Now, I will say this. The sad thing I just heard him say, she was scared of this man, but she loved him at the same time. And ladies, I always ask y'all this question. If you know that it's toxic, that bad, why is it hard for y'all to get the hell out of Dodge? See, we could talk about Dalton all day when the toxic relationship between him and Teresa Rocky Balboa. We could talk about him as well. But I have to ask the ladies, if you in this situation, what is so hard for y'all to get away? And I'm serious when I ask that question, you know. Some of y'all do come in the comment section, try to answer it, but I guess I would have to be a woman to understand. I guess I had to be a woman to understand, but this man coming and threatening you and kill you, and you fear for your life, and he tell you get in his house, and you had a chance to run, man, run. But I'm only asking the question. I didn't live with this woman. I don't know this woman's life. But I hear a lot of relationships like that with y'all women, and I don't know why y'all don't get the hell out of Dodge. I just don't. And I say that to the men. Dalton, he should have got the hell out of Dodge instead of letting that woman do him the way he did. He should have got the hell out of Dodge, but he stuck around. And that's sad. And that's sad. And you would think if you got a child involved, they would make you even more want to get the hell out of Dodge, for at least for the sake of your child. Protect your child. Handsome young man. Handsome young man. Oh, God. Look at that. And you know the crazy thing about that? Looking at that last picture, he ain't even sitting up there crying. He's not crying. He's just looking. Wow. Wow. Let me check something else, guys, before I end it right there. Let me see if there's any updates. Update, suspect charged wanted in shooting that killed woman and injured 1-year-old child. His name is Zacchaeus Rashad Gaston. If I said that right, Zacchaeus Rashad Gaston. A woman is dead and a child was injured after shooting at a West Houston apartment complex. Houston police said the shooting happened around 10:35 a.m. Thursday at the Apex at Royal Oaks apartment complex on West Park Drive near Willcrest Drive, authorities said. Police say they responded to a shooting at the location, and when they arrived, they found a woman who had been shot 4 times and was in critical condition. Family has identified the mother and the son as Layla Steele and Zeus. Steele's family said Zeus' first birthday was Thursday, the same day as the shooting. Emergency responders performed CPR on the woman while they worked to transport her to the hospital. Authorities said through CPR they were able to get the woman's pulse back, but police said she eventually succumbed to her injuries. Authorities say the woman was holding a 1-year-old boy at the time of the shooting. He was shot in the ankle, but is in stable condition and expected to survive, police said. He is expected to undergo surgery on Friday. Witnesses told authorities they heard an argument happen in the parking lot prior to the incident. Authorities believe the woman was a victim of domestic violence. Investigators say they believe the suspect is Zacchaeus Rashad Gaston, 27 years old, the estranged boyfriend of Steele and father of her 1-year-old child. He is out on 7 felonies and is wearing an ankle monitor, police said. The man fled on foot. Police are currently working to locate him. Gaston is charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Gaston or in the case is urged to contact the HPD Homicide Division. With the suspect being out on bond for 7 major felonies, this could have been prevented, Chief Patricia Cantu with the Houston Police Department said. It's really sad because the child is going to grow up without a mother, and the fact that he's going to grow up knowing he was there. Neighbor Anna Max said, that blows my mind. 7, what happened to 3 strikes out? You gone. But 7. The victim's sister told KPRC2 the justice system failed when the suspect was let out of jail. Family members of the victim identified him as Zacchaeus, however you say that man's name, Gaston. Court documents seem to match up. Steele had a restraining order against Gaston, which was later dismissed. I'm sad, but I'm angry. I'm more angry than I am sad, said J.S., the victim's sister. The hardest part is that my sister died and it could have been prevented. Man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That is so crazy, man. What the hell? What the total hell? And he looked just as evil as Xavier. If not worse. He looked just as evil as he is. Guys, you know what? He's gonna let you see his picture. You probably finna see it in a minute. Yeah, I got a delay. You finna see it in a minute. All right, guys. So we initially started out the story with the 10-year-old who was shot but survived, but she witnessed her family and her sister getting killed, and not only that, she was able to play dead until the perpetrator left and was able to call her family and let her family know what had happened. And doing that, while the young lady was injured, she carried her 1-year-old brother to safety. You know, so this is awful. This is sad. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know, I just wish it's something that we can do, but unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do. We just gotta. It look like it's just gonna happen regardless of what. You know, the more you try to stop it, the more it's gonna happen. You know, and that's crazy. But even crazier, you got a man who tried to kill his own child. You know, that's crazy. Usually when I do stories, it's the mothers trying to kill their child. You know, it's very rare that I get a story that the man kills their child. Other than that dude, Travis Stackhouse, who killed his son over cheesecake. So the story with men killing their children, I rarely see them stories. I know they out there, but I rarely see them. You know, so I don't know what this woman did so bad that he wanted to kill not only her, but I guess he attempted to kill his child, their child, as well. I don't know what happened that damn bad. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining me. That's the update for today, and you got another story with that. If we're going to try to put some ice on his own. It is officially the 4th of July. At least it is down here. It's 1:22 a.m. down here in Memphis. I don't know what time it is where y'all at. So it's officially 4th of July down here. So I say that to say this, guys. With all this fuck shit that's going on with this holiday coming up, guys, please be careful. Watch your kids. If y'all let them have fireworks, watch them with them fireworks. Because when I was a kid, a lot of children used to like to have fireworks war. And it was all fun and games too until somebody actually got hit with a firework, and it ain't pretty. And it don't feel good either. That shit, it ain't pretty and it don't feel good, because I got hit with a firework before. And that shit does hurt. It hurts, you know. But anyway, I don't know what to say, guys. Thank y'all for listening. I'll catch y'all next time, and have a safe holiday. And if y'all haven't, go check out my last video that I did about Zanaya, right? And show that baby some love as well. All right. I love y'all. Take care of yourself and each other. All right. Peace.